Imagine a perfect morning. The sun is shining through the window. On your table, there's a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice, a bowl of crispy granola, and a healthy-looking whole-grain bread with fruit spread. It looks colorful, smells fresh, and makes you feel good. You think you're doing something good for your body. You think this is the fuel for a successful day. But what if I told you that this exact picture is a dangerous illusion? What if I told you that this supposedly healthy breakfast is actually a ticking time bomb for your metabolism? While you're enjoying your meal, something terrifying is happening inside you. This isn't a healthy breakfast. It's a chemical command to your body to immediately store fat. And not just any fat you can see from the outside, but the most dangerous toxin a person can carry: visceral fat. Most people believe fat is just a passive layer under the skin that makes us look a little too heavy. A fatal mistake. The fat you're feeding with this breakfast hides deep in your abdominal cavity. It clamps onto your liver, squeezes your pancreas, and poisons your kidneys. It's not dead tissue. It's like a malignant, invisible organ that pumps inflammatory substances into your blood around the clock. It robs you of energy, clouds your mind, and slowly destroys your health, even before your workday has properly begun. Are you wondering why you can't lose belly fat despite your discipline? Are you asking yourself why you're already shaky with hunger by 10 in the morning? The answer is right here, on your plate. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how this healthy breakfast manipulates your hormones and locks your metabolism in a prison. We're going to tear off a mask that the food industry has carefully maintained for decades. Get ready. Because after this video, you'll never look at your breakfast table the same way again. To understand why your body is working against you, we need to talk about a betrayal that is prepared inside you every night. While you sleep, your body performs a miracle. It repairs cells, organizes thoughts, and, most importantly, it switches to fat burning. In the early morning hours, it prepares for the day. This is where we encounter the so-called dawn phenomenon. Your body naturally releases a small amount of cortisol and glucose to gently wake you up. It gives you energy from your own reserves. Actually, this is the perfect moment to burn fat, but this is exactly where we make the fatal mistake. As soon as you consume that healthy granola or orange juice, your blood sugar levels skyrocket. In response, a powerful player enters the stage: insulin. Imagine insulin like a prison guard with a heavy iron set of keys. The moment sugar enters your blood, this guard rushes to your fat cells and locks the doors. Click. The lock is shut. As long as this guard, insulin, patrols your blood, there's no escape for your stored fat. The door is locked. Your body can no longer access its own energy reserves. And here's the bitter irony. Even though you just ate, your brain signals hunger again shortly after. Why? Because after the steep rise, blood sugar levels drop just as rapidly. You end up in an energy slump. This is why you're caught in a vicious cycle despite your discipline. You can jog all afternoon or skip lunch. If the insulin from breakfast is still blocking the doors to your fat cells, your body will prefer to break down muscle or slow down your metabolism rather than touching that belly fat. You're not fighting your weight, you're fighting a hormonal command that you unconsciously sign every morning. Your body isn't broken, it's just obeying the wrong signals. It thinks there's an abundance, while your cells are actually starving. There's a misunderstanding that costs many people their lives. We look in the mirror, see a little belly, and think, that's just a bit of flab, a purely aesthetic problem. Today I have to tell you the painful truth. This fat isn't a passive energy store. It's an invasive occupier. While the fat under the skin is just there, visceral fat creeps deep into your cavities. It's like a suffocating net that tightly constricts your liver, squeezes your pancreas, and puts pressure on your kidneys. Maybe you're one of those people who are actually lean, but that one stubborn spare tire around your belly just won't go away. In medicine, we call that skinny fat. And don't be fooled, that's often more dangerous than visible overall overweight. Why? Because your insides are literally drowning. This deep fatty tissue is highly biologically active. It behaves like a factory gone wild, continuously pumping toxic messengers, called cytokines, into your bloodstream. These substances put your entire body into a state of chronic inflammation. Do you often feel that crushing fatigue in the afternoon? That brain fog, that mental haze that robs you of your concentration? That's not age. Those are the inflammatory signals from your belly fat reaching your brain. It's a creeping process that calcifies your vessels and consumes your years of life like a candle burning at both ends. And here the circle closes back to your breakfast. Remember that intense hunger at 10 in the morning when your stomach growls even though you just ate? That's the moment when visceral fat triumphs. Every time your blood sugar crashes due to the wrong breakfast, your body screams for energy. But since insulin blocks the doors to your fat reserves, the body remains in a state of hunger, even though it's surrounded by fat. In this emergency, visceral fat produces even more stress hormones. It's a vicious cycle. The fat makes you hungry, and the hunger feeds the fat. You're not fighting a mere bulge under your t-shirt here. You're fighting an enemy that manipulates your organs from the inside out. It's time to regain control before this silent invader takes over. Have you ever wondered why, despite an endless selection of light products and fit granolas, we're getting sicker and fatter? It's because we live in a world full of shiny packaging that systematically misleads us. The food industry isn't a health expert, it's a master of seduction. Let's take beloved oats. Actually a healthy food, right? But look closely. There's a huge difference between real, hearty rolled oats and modern instant oats. The instant variety is so heavily processed that your body digests it almost as quickly as pure sugar. You're not eating grain, you're eating a metabolic shock in a bowl. Or let's think about that glass of orange juice in the morning. We believe we're drinking liquid vitamins, but in reality, you're drinking liquid sugar without nature's protective shield. A whole orange contains fiber that slows down sugar absorption. In juice, it's missing. Without this fiber, the fruit sugar rushes directly into your liver and is immediately converted into, you guessed it, visceral fat. And then there are the low-fat or reduced-fat products. That's one of the biggest deceptions of our time. When you remove fat from a food, it tastes like cardboard. So what does the industry do? It replaces the fat with sugar, corn syrup, or modified starch to keep it tasting good. You buy less fat, but you get an overdose of insulin provocation for free. We need to learn to understand the language of labels. The industry is clever. They don't just write sugar on the package. They hide it behind names that sound healthy or technical. Barley malt extract, dextrose, maltodextrin, or fruit syrup. These are all just masks for the same culprit that clogs your arteries and makes your belly grow. Stop reading the front of the package. That's where the fairy tales are. Turn the package over. If the list of ingredients is longer than a short essay or contains names you can't pronounce, then it's not food. It's an industrial product programmed to bypass your satiety point and feed your internal fatty tissue. It's time to open your eyes and reclaim your plate. Now that we've exposed the lies, the crucial question arises: how do we regain control? How do we stop the occupier in our belly? The answer is surprisingly simple, but it requires a change in thinking. We need to stop seeing our breakfast as a treat for the tongue and start viewing it as an investment in our hormones. The golden rule for your success is protein first. When you start your day with high-quality protein, you immediately change the chemical environment in your body. Protein has the highest thermic effect of all foods. This means your body has to expend a massive amount of energy just to digest protein, so it burns calories while you eat. But even more importantly, protein is the ultimate satiety killer. It sends a signal of calm to your brain. That intense hunger at 10 in the morning? It simply vanishes because your blood sugar stays like a calm lake instead of a turbulent sea. But be careful with your choices. A fruit yogurt from the supermarket shelf isn't a protein breakfast. It's a disguised candy. Instead, choose real, plain Greek yogurt without additives. It's rich in protein and healthy fats that support your metabolism instead of sabotaging it. So what does an intelligent breakfast look like? Think about eggs, in any form. They are nature's perfect food. Pair them with half an avocado for healthy fats, or a few nuts for that necessary crunch. If you like savory, choose salmon or a piece of lean meat. These foods provide the building blocks your muscles need and what your visceral fat will hate. If you stick with this system for just 1 week, you'll experience something magical. The brain fog lifts, your energy stays consistent, and for the first time in a long time, your body will open the doors to its fat reserves because the prison guard, insulin, is finally off duty. Forget the old belief that you have to lose weight to be healthy. It's exactly the opposite. You have to get healthy, starting with the first meal of the day, so your body can release the excess fat. Reclaim your morning, because whoever wins the morning wins the health of their entire life.